Good afternoon, everybody. Today I'm working on Margarete Miller, week 24. I think we're in week 25. This is week 24. I, for some reason, forgot to do this weekend, so here I am. So this week, our first prompt is something that glows in the dark. So I chose this paper because it's a sticker. I have had it for many, many, many years. I have a couple of them. And there were these back when I was scrapbooking. And I don't know if you can tell, but this is a very neon glowy pink. It just looks like pink when it's on here. But the other, and I tore the sheet. It was like a sheet. I considered getting them. But they came in like green, yellow, they have a bright purple, a bright blue. And this is the least glow-in-the-darky looking one, but it went with my color scheme, so that's why I'm using pink. So that's my something that glows in the dark or appears to. It's very neon, very 80s. The second prompt is a soft texture. So sometimes when I'm doing my jelly plate, I do this texture where I crumple up the tissue. And this is just gift wrapping tissue. And then sort of flatten it out and then put it on there. And it makes this really soft, wonderful texture to the painted area. You can't, I mean, obviously you can't tell, but it's like baby skin soft when you touch the area that, so I'm going to use this as part of it. A page with a water stain or smudge. So this was a piece of a map I used for something else. It's a German language map of Italy. But I tried to get it wet and it didn't do much. So I just sort of went like this with my coffee that I drink every morning, and it sort of smudged, left a little bit of a watermark. So I'm going to use that. See, it's just sort of a smudgy looking mess. An image of a vintage sign or poster. I had this. I think I got it off the internet. I've had it for a while. But I'm using it because of the pink rose, because it goes with some stuff I'm using. A teacup or a coffee mug. Well, I have two. I have both a coffee mug and a tea. These, as usual, came from the Collage Soup ebook, one of them. I think it has to do with drinks. It's like one of their $1.99 specials. And it's just a bunch of drinks in the book. And I love it because I have to use a lot of those for different things. And then the bonus is lace, real paper or otherwise. So real lace, paper lace. And so I have these two strips from many, many years ago that I held on to. I have a couple of little tins that are filled with goodies like this. And I was happy to pull some out. And then I have a few, a flower that came with the thing. And then some Tim Holtz labels that I'm going to also use on the page. Right, this is going to have a very pinky, vintagey feel to it today. I hope everybody had a really nice weekend. If you celebrated Father's Day, I hope you had a nice time. We didn't really do much of anything. We had our friend over for dinner like we normally do, but which was good because he lost his dad a couple of years ago. And so I'm glad that we were able to have him over on a day that might have been rough for him. And so we've been watching The Residents. If you haven't seen that, I'm on my third viewing because my husband said he didn't want to watch it. And so I watched it without him. Within like, I watched the whole series within, let's see, it's like very sticky. I think it was a 24-hour period. You know, I watched some, did some stuff, watched some more. And I loved it. The character of Cordelia Cup is, I love her. I really hope that they make another season with her. I mean, this is one of those that you could have only had the one season and then just be done with it. But I kind of hope that they do another season because I really, really loved this character. And she's quirky and fun. She's a little bit like the Daniel Craig character. He did the Glass Onion and then the Knives Out. She's a little bit quirky like that, you know, very smart, very, she knows things, you know, seems to know things going on that other people don't seem to know. And so I really appreciated the character. I'm not usually a huge Shonda Rhimes fan. Just because, I don't know, I just don't really get into her shows. I have watched Grey's Anatomy before. But I haven't watched it in the last... I think after they killed off Derek, I stopped watching it. Because I just... Sometimes I think shows should end after a while. Because it just gets to be tedious. I mean, I was a huge Friends fan when I was in my 20s because they are the same age as me. And I loved Friends. It was a staple in my life for many years. But I don't... the last two seasons were kind of meh. I did like the addition of Paul Rudd because he is my favorite as far as celebrities go. As far as people on Friends, my favorite was always Chandler. I mean, my favorite is still Matt Perry, unfortunately. And then I liked Rachel, but, you know, as I watch it when I get older, I think, oh my gosh, these people are so self-involved. But at the time, I was a big Rachel advocate. Although I am a big Jennifer Aniston advocate. I like her a lot. So, but anyway, we watched a couple of episodes of The Residence, and my second watching of it was because I was I think, working on stuff in my office crafting area. And when I went back to the bedroom, my husband was back there watching the show. And I was like, I thought you weren't going to watch this. And he's all, I don't know, I just started it just because, you know, he didn't know what to watch. And he ended up loving the show. So I watched the third, you know, I watched it a second time with him. Because I enjoyed it so much the first time. And you know how you catch things, if you watch a show a second time. I know there's a lot of people that watch a show and that's it, and they don't go back and watch it. But I always find that the second viewing of shows is interesting because then you're like, oh, you catch things that maybe you didn't catch the first time. And that's how I feel about that show. I would catch little things and be like, oh, because, you know, obviously I know who the killer is already. And so it's fun for me to see, oh, I didn't catch that the first time around, you know. So, and then when we were trying to decide what to watch, because when my friend comes over for dinner, we watch an episode or two of a show. And we started this 2 years ago. I think it was just over 2 years ago now. And we started it with The Last of Us, because he and my husband play that video game. Oh, goody. I think it's supposed to go. I think it's supposed to go that way. Sorry, I need to wipe up this glue on my, before it settles there. And see, it's very pink and vintagey today. But he comes over every Sunday. We watch some shows. Anyway, we couldn't figure out what to watch. We've been watching the Murderbot series, but they're not all out yet. Sometimes we don't watch the shows that are super popular right away because they aren't out yet. And, you know, when you have to wait for, oh, whoops, hold on a second, shoot. I forgot that this has to go under. And that's why I left a little bit of space here. I wanted this under here. Oh dear, this is not going to work out. I mean, it'll work out, but I'm just going to take a little, no, I don't want that pulled up. I want this pulled up. I'm starting to think that I should write out the steps for myself so that I don't get to this point and go, oh, whoops. Because I had this kind of under here. So maybe what I'll have to do is cut down the middle of this, because I'm not going to be able to get it under as far as I had planned. Okay, yeah, this will work. I kind of wanted a little bit, I just wanted it like that, sorry. Maybe I'll try that next week, where I write down my steps so that I don't get to this point and go, oh, whoops, I forgot a step. I was supposed to put the lace under, because I'm going to put this one, see, I did the same thing here. I think I was considering it there. I don't remember. But I do know this is supposed to go under here, and again, I need to get, oh, I did leave it. I was like, I was supposed to leave that slightly there. I definitely think I'm going to have to try and write. And I think originally I had this here. And I thought that I left space, but why would I do that? That makes too much sense there. It'll go, it'll go. Yeah, okay. Don't worry about me just leaving out the, you know, some of the main prompts. Again, sorry if you can hear, they're finally finishing up the landscaping that they've been working on outside my window for weeks. They're laying all the wood chips. I thought that that would go nicely because it's almost like, my thought on it was, we have a map, some pink colors to match. She's gone out to get some, what looks like little cookies. And then tea, and I thought these two things look sort of like tea bags, and so, and then so there's an order number, you know, for her order. And then let me grab, I forgot, of course, my words. A party without a cake is just a meeting. I feel that like that works well. And there you go. Nothing like the perfect saying to place down. Okay, so just to go over this, something that glows in the dark, I was using this very, you probably can't tell, but this very neon pink. A soft texture is this paper I made with crinkled tissue on my jelly plate. A page with water stain or smudge, that's right up here. An image of a vintage sign, right there, it's for some kind of cookies. A teacup or coffee mug, both of them. And then I used 2 strips of paper lace there. Let me see, I can go a little bit closer so you can see. This one came together nicely. It always looks nicer when they're dry. So, once again, thank you for watching my awkwardness and putting together this collage. This one was kind of an easy one. Meaning I had all the stuff that I could easily apply to this. I may not have mentioned, these are Tim Holtz. There are a couple of different packs. I had actually held on to the packages so I could let people know which ones they were, but I have no idea where I've put those right now. I'm in the middle of cleaning my space, and so things are behind me and to the side of me are quite a mess. But I had forgotten to do this weekend before I started making the mess, so I wanted to get this done today and post it. So thank you very much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later.